The resourcefulness of Pakistani mechanics is truly something to behold. They can restore an engine to its former glory even with a gaping hole. One determined car owner, seeking to revive his old engine, embarked on a journey aboard his trusty motorcycle, navigating the bustling roads in search of a repair shop. Fortune smiled upon him. After traveling less than 20 miles, he found a workshop. Without even coming to a complete stop, the mechanics took on the challenge. In this place, no task is too daunting. Following a brief inspection, the mechanic began his work. First, he removed the bearing cap and used a piece of paper to trace the outline of the damaged area. This template would serve as a guide for cutting a replacement piece of metal. To find a suitable piece of iron, the mechanic ventured to a nearby scrapyard. After a cursory search, he miraculously discovered a piece with the perfect curvature, height, and material for the patch. It was a perfect fit. Since the mechanic was a regular customer, he was granted a 7-day grace period for payment. Thus, he simply weighed the metal in his hand and left. Back at the workshop, he confirmed the metal's suitability and then proceeded to cut the paper template along the marked lines. This precisely shaped paper would later be used as a measurement tool. To enhance the patch's appearance, the mechanic used an angle grinder to remove any rust, ensuring a flawless finish. With the rust removed, he placed the paper template onto the metal patch and traced the familiar outline. Initially, it seemed he would use a gas cutter or plasma cutter for the job, but he had neither. Instead, he skillfully employed the angle grinder to cut the metal. However, the grinder could only remove excess material. Fine-tuning the patch's shape required a grinding machine. The mechanic patiently worked to create a patch that perfectly matched the hole. He believed that with enough perseverance, even iron could be transformed. To avoid overgrinding, he frequently compared the patch to the engine, gradually refining its shape. Yet relying solely on visual inspection wouldn't achieve the necessary precision. Therefore, the mechanic used the angle grinder to carefully widen the hole's edges, creating a beveled surface for a stronger weld. However, the patch couldn't be welded directly onto the cast iron engine block. Cast iron, known for its high carbon content and brittleness, requires preheating to prevent cracking during welding. For this task, the mechanic used dried cow dung, a traditional fuel source. He arranged the dung, doused it in diesel, and set it ablaze. The mechanic burned the cow dung until it was completely consumed, effectively preheating the engine block. With the preheating complete, the welding process could begin. Welding cast iron is notoriously difficult, with some even claiming it's impossible. Its high carbon content makes it prone to white spots and cracks during welding, weakening the joint. Therefore, the mechanic proceeded with caution. Before each weld, he used the grinding machine to create a beveled edge. After welding, the mechanic ground the surface smooth and inspected it for cracks or pinholes to prevent oil leaks. To further enhance the engine block's durability, he applied a layer of black paint. The repair was now nearly invisible. But the work wasn't finished. For added strength, the mechanic reinforced the interior with welds. Following the reinforcement, he smoothed the welds with the grinder and applied another coat of paint. With that, the engine block repair was complete, saving the car owner a significant amount of money. The mechanic confidently asserted that this repair would last for another decade, barring any unforeseen damage.